Hello and welcome to the John Ark Show. Today's episode is called 12 Things Every Lottery Winner Should Do Immediately. Have you just won the lottery? We're going to show you some things that you should do immediately just to preserve your physical security, your financial security, and your psychological health. Your life is about to change dramatically. Before we begin, I want to encourage you to subscribe, follow, like, and comment on the show, as well as to let you know that the show is sponsored by HollywoodIsCalling.com. It's the only company that allows people to purchase live calls from real celebrities. The calls are $19.95. So check it out. It's HollywoodIsCalling.com. Now let's get started. So you've just won the lottery. Maybe your first instinct is to scream and yell, call everybody you know, boast and brag, call old girlfriends and old boyfriends and try to make them jealous or reconcile with you, rub it in their face, call your job and tell them that you quit. All those things are really bad ideas. How bad are they as ideas? Those ideas are so horrifically bad that in the past, they have gotten some lottery winners injured or killed for doing it. Here's what you should do. Number one, tell nobody, not your spouse, not your attorney, nobody, until you do the following. Immediately sign the back of the lottery ticket. Next, no matter what you do, don't go back to the store and ask the manager to confirm that this is a winning lottery ticket. That's a horrifically bad idea. Why? Because there have been numerous news reports around the country of people doing just that, and the store manager takes the ticket, checks it, and then when they realize it's real, they palm it and exchange it for a losing ticket, which they hand back to you, and they say, sorry, it's not a winning ticket. And then guess what? That store owner or one of their relatives remarkably wins the lottery a few days later with your ticket. The only way to confirm that you have a winning ticket is to go on the lottery's website or their app and confirm it there by yourself. Don't ask anybody to do it for you. Not your spouse, not your girlfriend, not your best buddy, nobody. You do it. Next, I want you to find out where the nearest lottery office is, and then I want you to drive down there and claim your winnings. They'll ask you if you want to get a lump sum payout or if you want to be paid out as an annuity over 20 years. Most experts will tell you that your tax liability will be lower if you collect your winnings over 20 years, and also that it offers some measure of protection for people who are undisciplined and apt to blow through all their money in the first year. I recommend that you take the lump sum payment, and I'll tell you why. The economy is now so strange and uncertain that I'm concerned that things could get really weird in the next year or two and cause the state to reduce or delay making your lottery annuity payments to you. You say that could never happen? It's already happening in some states. Some states are under so much financial pressure that they are reducing or delaying their lottery payments to people so they can then take that money and apply it elsewhere. You do not want to be that person. You want to be the guy who deposits all his money into his bank account and has full control. A simple Google search will show you, especially the particular state that I read about, that this is a growing concern for a lot of people. And believe me, you getting your lottery money is a really low priority for states that are faced with all sorts of deficits. If they have to, they'll take your money. The next thing I want you to do, now that the money has been safely deposited into your bank account, is I want you to go home and relax. Don't do anything for a few days. Don't talk to anybody. Don't disclose anything to anybody. Just relax and let the excitement and the adrenaline fade away. You need to calm down and start planning. Don't bother setting up meetings with financial advisors. They will all want you to buy stocks or bonds or annuities or some other investment that they can make a commission on. At this point in time, that's not what you want to do. You do want to meet with a tax advisor and put a plan into place that will allow you to send the check to the IRS whenever your taxes are due. Not your advisor. It's up to them to help you. It's up to your tax accountant or your tax preparer to draw up the paperwork for you. But it's up to you. Make sure you're the one who mails in that check. Now, this one's a really important one, and that is avoid the stock market. Stay out of the market. Everybody's going to want to help you get even richer. Hey, we can double your money in 5 years. We'll triple your money in 10 years. All that nonsense. If you won the lottery, you're probably already rich. And if that's the case, your number one priority is don't lose money. What's your priority? Don't lose money. You should write that on your ceiling wall. You should write that on the windows of your car. You should have it tattooed on the forearms, both of your forearms, and on your hands. And it should say, don't lose money. Why? Because when you put money in the market, there's always a possibility you'll do what? You will lose money. All these financial advisors, they all try to get you to invest in this or that. But you know what they don't want to talk about? None of them want to talk about the money they've lost for their clients in the past when the market tanked. Ask them about that. See how willing they are to disclose that. Most will want to minimize that discussion or claim it doesn't happen. Next, you want to get a P.O. box and change your phone number. That's really important because at some point people will find out. Either you will tell them or the media will release the information, and then they'll find out. And then you will be targeted by every well-intentioned individual or everybody trying to sell you something or every con person on the face of the planet. They'll start calling, they'll start mailing, and they will start knocking on your front door. Every friend and relative and con person you've ever bumped into will all begin to ask for money. Let all your phone calls go to voicemail. From this point forward in your life, you will never answer a live phone call or answer the door unless you know who's calling or who's ringing the doorbell. Assume it's somebody who wants something, wants to sell something, or to steal something, or to con you. Next, do not buy a crazy expensive car. Huge mistake. Everybody dreams of having a Ferrari or a Porsche or a Lamborghini, Rolls Royce. All these cars, I want you to think of them as bullseyes. And these bullseyes, what do they say? They say, rob me. Come and steal from me. If you doubt that, then I want you to Google celebrities who have been robbed. And you'll see so many news stories online about celebrities who've had their homes broken into or who've had their jewelry stolen or have been robbed at gunpoint out in public. Why? Too much attention seeking, too much ostentatious behavior. We now live in a time where people are scared to death. They're not going to put food on the table next week. Don't be irresponsible. That part of your ego that says, yeah, I get that really shiny new sports car. That's the part of your ego that's going to get you in trouble. Get yourself something low key and conservative like a Toyota or even a Lexus. Don't get anything flashy. Don't get anything stupid. Regardless of what you see on TV every day, flashy is almost always going to come back and bite you. The minute you get a high profile or exotic sports car, the odds of you being robbed or scammed, they go up exponentially. Oh yeah, and remember all those beautiful girls, all those beautiful people who refused to go out with you in the past, but now for some miraculous reason they want to go out with you? Ask yourself, why is that? And is it a good thing? In 2016, Kim Kardashian went to Paris, and while at the hotel, robbers dressed up like police officers forced their way into her hotel room, and they robbed her at gunpoint. They took everything. And a lot of experts feel that the reason Kim um, got robbed at gunpoint was because um, she was displaying too much of her wealth online on social media. She was flashing the wealth. She was letting people know where she's going to be and what she's going to be doing when she gets there. And this allowed people to track her, map her whereabouts, and to target her. Believe me, there's nothing to be gained by being ostentatiously flashy. Nothing. This leads us to the next issue. If you're really smart, delete all your social media accounts. There is no need to boast about what happened to you. There's no need to tell anybody what happened to you. I know most people who've never had any money, they want to boast in the worst way possible. They want to make all their enemies jealous. They want to make all their exes jealous. They want to attract, beautiful people to date in the future. And maybe if I just put up these pictures of this shiny new car or me going to this great vacation destination, maybe I'll attract wonderful people. That's not the way it works. You'll attract people, but believe me, the people you attract will be a nightmare. Number 10, become invisible. Don't dress ostentatiously. Don't wear crazy clothing. Don't drive crazy cars. Make sure to tell your spouse not to brag or tell everybody, because if you tell one person, that person will tell 20. Tell your kids. Don't tell your kids that you won the lottery. Tell them that you borrowed some money, and now you're worried that you may not be able to pay off this enormous loan that you've taken. So tell nobody. Why? Because the security threats to your family will go up exponentially. You want to get targeted when you go on vacation? You want to get targeted when you go shopping? Do you want to get targeted by people in social settings? There are apps now that allow you to scan somebody's face, and then you can pull up identifying information about those individuals. Do you want everybody knowing who you are and what you have? It's not a good idea. Next, I want you to stop using your real name when you meet new people. I want you to adopt a nickname. And whenever you meet a new person in your life, give them your nickname. And if they say, well, what's your real name? Just say, well, all my friends call me that, so, call me whatever your nickname is. And that's because you don't want people targeting you again. You don't want everybody Googling you and finding out that you won $10 million. You don't want every fake charity on earth calling and asking for money. Stick with a nickname. There's a reason criminals use nicknames, and there's a reason the newly rich should use nicknames. That should be your policy. If you're single, you need to practice safe sex. If you start having a lot of unprotected sex with a lot of strangers, and you start having kids, all those child support payments, they will destroy you financially. I don't care how much money you have won, if you get enough strangers pregnant, you will end up broke. There is a reason 2/3 of most professional athletes file for bankruptcy within 5 years of leaving their sports leagues, of no longer being professional athletes. And what is that reason? In addition to the crazy houses and the crazy cars they bought, it's usually because of all the alimony and all the child support payments they have to pay to people in secret just to prevent their wives from finding out. If their wives ever did find out, that will lead to a more expensive divorce. So keep that in mind. Number 11, get a prenup. If you were married before you got the lottery ticket, that's fine. Share it with your wife. But if you're dating somebody and you suddenly win and they start demanding that you get married, first of all, demanding is never a good attitude. Secondly, if you want to marry them, tell them your attorney insists that you get a prenup and they won't let you get married without one. If that person still sticks around, it means they love you. If they don't, it means they're a predator. Next, and this is a big one, it's going to sound counterintuitive, but keep this in mind. I want to recommend that those of you who still enjoy your jobs, keep your jobs. Nothing adds to your psychological strength like maintaining a productive lifestyle and working hard. If you hate your job, if it's giving you ulcers and you no longer need to work, then by all means, quit your job. But you know what happens to a lot of people who quit their jobs? People who sit around and watch TV all day, or drink, or party. Those people burn through their money for some reason. It's all gone in a few years. There are shows on cable TV about lottery winners who have gone bankrupt. It's unbelievable. You would never think that somebody who won $250 million could blow all that money. And yet the shows feature people like that. These morons, they start buying $500,000 chandeliers for their mansions, or $250,000 suits of armor for their living room. Just this nonsense, which they woke up one day and they thought, that's what I need to improve my life. I need a $250,000 suit of armor standing up in my foyer. Think about that mentality. And of course, they're bankrupt now. The money is all gone. So with that, I want to wish you good luck. Thank you for watching, and we will see you soon.